Hello, I'm Mick Sadler, and today we're going to do some macro photography using our 70 by 70 centimetre Speedlight softbox. Now this allows you to use your Speedlight in quite a large softbox, and this is mounted on a stand, but it does come with an attachment so you can mount it on a tripod. We've got our Speedlight mounted, and as you can see, this is pointing towards the centre of the softbox. Now this is quite unusual for this type of softbox. We've got this bracket, this L bracket, that brings up the flash to point straight into the centre of the softbox, giving you a more even illumination. We do have a cover that fits here, diffuser, which will go on a bit later to help with the softness of the light. We're using a 550 EX Speedlight. We're using a cheap wireless trigger, and you can get ETTL wireless triggers, but in this case we're going to set the exposure manually. With this softbox comes, it's mounted on a bracket which allows you to tilt in any angle that you want. And again, some softboxes of this type don't come with that and don't allow you to tilt it. Now this little tutorial, we're doing it in the studio today. It can be done as effectively outside. The camera I'm going to be using is a Canon 550D with a 100mm Canon macro lens, and that's it really. So let's get on with the tutorial. Well, we've set up our shot now, and camera's on a tripod, and we've got a little flower here, quite small, and we've got just a little crocodile clip holding it up. So the softbox is quite close overhead. We've set the flash to half power, and we're focusing manually. Focusing towards the front of the flower, and the camera is set on 125th, which is the flash sync, and f20. So that's the first shot. That's looking a bit dark, so we're going to open up the aperture slightly. So we'll go to f16 and see what we get there. I'm just going to align that to get us more in the centre. Yep, that's a lot better exposed. We're shooting in RAW, which means we can do a lot with this image. It's always a good idea to set your camera to, rather than as I'm doing here, pressing the button and it takes the picture, is to set up on your camera a delay. And on this Canon we can set up a 2-second delay, so that when I press the shutter release, it takes 2 seconds and then it takes a picture. This allows the camera to settle down, and also so you minimise any sort of camera shake. Right, that was shot on a white background, and now I've changed the background to blue, and we'll see what that gives us. Same exposure. Again, blue is a complementary colour to the warm colours, so I think it works quite well. So that's our shot, and what we're going to do now is take it into Lightroom and just process it a little bit and see what sort of effects we can get. Okay, we're back into Lightroom now, and if you're not familiar with Lightroom, it's got quite a few different models. The library model allows you to organise all your pictures. You can give them keywords, you can put them in catalogues. It's fantastic. But today we're going to work in the develop module up here. This is the picture we took at f16. And as you can see, it is underexposed, but as we're working in RAW, that's not a problem. So I'm just going to go, we're in the basic tab here, and going to go on to the exposure and take that down, and we're bringing that down to about 3/4 of a stop down. Next thing I'm going to do is to crop this, because I feel the picture's up in at the top here, so I'm actually going to crop that, something like that. Center this on there, and now we can work down these sliders. We're going to open up the shadows a bit, and with the sliders you a touch, and we're also going to brighten the whites just to give that a bit of a pop. Now we come down to clarity, and clarity's a fantastic little tool. It adds sharpness and definition, so we're at about 70, and so that really makes it pop. We don't really need to worry about the vibrance or the saturation, because it's a very saturated little picture. This little flower that we took was quite tiny. It was only 3 centimeters across, so this section we're looking at is about 1.5 centimeters, so very small. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to see whether this any added contrast will help this. That's a bit too much. I think we're going to bring that down. So I think we'll leave the contrast as it is. I think that's a reasonably looking picture. We can add a little bit into the blacks. We've got like a piece of debris just here, and in Lightroom you've got like a spot healing brush, so all you do is click over that. You can use the brackets and it will sample from somewhere else, and we switch that off. The little piece of debris is now gone. You see all these little highlight bits all over, that's actually tiny little moisture globules, which are very tiny, which make it quite interesting. Okay, I've got some more pictures along the bottom here. I'm going to click this one. This is very dark, and I'm not sure whether the flash gun was switched on or it didn't go off, but if this was a JPEG you would have no chance of recovering this. But in RAW we're going to click the auto button in the basic panel, and bam, you can see what it can do. That is a bit extreme, but gives you a lot more leeway using RAW. And again, I've done a few adjustments to this. We've brought the exposure down by a stop, and done really more or less the same things we did in the first picture. But with the blue background I think that's quite effective. And then I've just got one more picture, which I'll just quickly even colour like the other one was. All I did was to have another flash gun firing at the background at one side, and it gives you another sort of added dimension. So this is the first in our macro series, using our Speedlight softbox. If you're interested in the Speedlight softbox, you can go to our website, which is www.smyk.co.uk, and we have all sorts of lighting equipment on the site. So I'm Mick Sadler, thanks for watching.